We are now live on the tube. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome to episode 36. We're streaming. We're not actually started recording in Audacity yet, but we are streaming to you guys because we are currently supposed to be chatting to Matthew Curtis, the author of this book, Modern British Beer, which I have been reading feverishly over the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, Matt hasn't joined us yet. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a bit of a chat, have a bit of a walkthrough, give him 20 minutes, half an hour, see if he does turn up. If not, we're going to review some commercial beers. But if he does turn up, we're going to jump straight into the questions and everything that we have prepared for him. Does that sound about right to everyone?
That sounds great.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Tricky, by the way, can I have your beard? Because I really like that distinguished bit of grey that you've got going off down at the bottom.
Thanks.
Nice.
Thanks.
It's nice.
No, I mean this genuinely, mate. It looks fucking brilliant.
It's
It
not
really
your.
does.
It's not leftovers of your dinner or something, is it?
Unless he was eating cocaine, no.
It might just be dust.
Maybe a floury pizza. I don't know. Anyway, quick question: Was I supposed to have started Audacity already?
No.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing.
I was confused.
I've not pressed record.
So
But
the
that's
part,
fine.
so the part a couple of minutes ago where I said we've not started Audacity or anything yet, we're just going to have a bit of a chat and give him 10 minutes.
We're easily confused, Chris. Okay, you should know this by now.
I mean, it did take you till 9 o'clock to start a podcast when I wasn't here.
To be fair, there is a lot of technical aspects that go into setting this sort of thing up.
You should. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Right.
Look, Chris.
I'll just-
No. Listen.
Shit, my camera's full.
I think you take it for
Broke the
granted
camera.
just how much you know about computers and IT.
So
And
that's what I've currently got.
how
up.
little I know about computers and IT.
So notes, live stream so I can see the boys.
Yeah.
YouTube so I can stream it live.
Pornhub tabs.
Audacity up there. OBS Ninja down there. And that is not including all of the tabs because you can see down here all of the tabs that I've actually got that I don't actually look at that are just, hidden. So, so yes, there's a lot goes into setting this up.
Well, you did a good job of steaming up your camera lens there, Chris.
Oh shit, the bed. Fuck a duck.
It actually looked like you genuinely licked the lens. It was nice.
You're just jealous. I'm not looking you again.
How many people are actually we got 7 people watching.
Yeah, we have.
Hi,
7 people.
7 people of the internet. I think at least 3 is the 3 of us,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, some of you may have noticed we're minus a Scotsman tonight as well, so he's a little worse for wear this evening.
Man down.
So get well soon, Andy. I'm sure just drink some whiskey or something and that'll sort you out.
Yeah, half a bottle should do you, Andy.
A hot toddy. I love a hot toddy.
I don't even know what a toddy is.
When
or
you have
a hot one.
If you get a slice of lemon, squeeze that, some honey, some whiskey, top it up with hot water. So it's an absolute winner before bed if you've got a bad cold.
I mean, I just normally go with honey and lemon in a bit of hot water.
No. Add some whiskey.
You're missing a valuable opportunity to intake
drink
alcohol
whiskey.
there, aren't you?
That's where you've been going wrong all your life.
Is that what it is? Is that why I've not been sleeping after I've had it?
I would tell you. I mean, I've even gone to the extent of ending up using Jack Daniel Jim Beam, I think it was, and I don't know, and then using lemon juice out of the bottle.
Oh no!
Wow.
And then I even tried to use,
that's a rough and ready hot toddy, that is, isn't it?
It gets worse, Tricky. It gets worse.
Ghetto hot toddy.
You know when you get that. When you get that ginger in a jar that's already chopped up.
Oh no!
Oh yeah.
No,
right.
no.
And I put some of that in as well. Well, what I didn't realize until I started drinking this thing is that ginger is.
It's in vinegar, isn't it?
It's in vinegar.
Yeah.
So
you kind of had a sour hot toddy. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh mate,
It's
not what you want, that is it?
It was desperate times. Yeah, it was like drinking a Flanders red.
Ooh,
nasty. Right then. So shall we start Audacity and then do the what are you drinking bit after Owen's done his intro?
Yeah.
Okay. 3.
What am I actually recording? I'm not actually genuinely recording the intro for the episode we're recording, right?
No, just record an intro for a commercial and then we'll see if he turns up.
Good. All right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, listeners of the Hop Edition podcast. Welcome back to the Hop Edition, our latest episode, which is going to be covering just a good old general chit chat and some commercial beers with my boys in the house, Chris and Tricky. Unfortunately, we're down our Scottish brethren. He's, I think, got a spot of man flu, not feeling too well, a bit under the weather, so he's opted to tuck himself into bed with a hot toddy. What's up, guys?
I hope Toddy is all right with that.
I think Toddy's great about that. He loves her. He loves a hairy man hug in his silk sheets.
A sweaty Scotsman in bed. Yeah.
Andy is all about the silk sheets as well, isn't he?
He's probably got his wank sock with him. I don't know.
The velvet sock.
The royal wank sock. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go first because at the moment I'm not drinking a commercial. I'm actually drinking some Moron's homebrew. So it's this.
Rude.
Which is, it's really clear and it tastes absolutely stunning. Now, I use Moron because this moron's actually in the room with me.
So the alt beer.
This is the Blue Trouser Brewers alt beer, and I have to say, I gotta say, this is an absolutely banging recipe, Owen. Whoever you got this off is a genius.
I think it was another moron, actually.
Yeah, it was massive moron with a bald head.
Yeah.
Now, what I get from yours that I don't get from mine is I get a hint of treacle, like black treacle. Faint hint, very, very faint, but I get the rest of it. I get the Caramunic, I get the crystal, I get the sugar, I get the biscuit from the Pilsner or the Vienna. I get all of that lovely flavor. Don't get much in the way of hops, but you're not supposed to in an alt beer. I can taste the yeast. It's really nice. It just runs and runs and runs. It's a party on my palate, and I'm a very happy man. So thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Carbonation was a bit low, I think.
I thought that was because you're a weakling and couldn't do the bottle up right.
It might have been. I've actually found more recently, like there's a trick, isn't there, to like bottling beer in PET bottles.
Yeah.
It's like you bottle it, you put the lid on, you do it up as tight as you can, and then you have to go back later on and do it up again.
Yeah.
And I have only very, very recently figured that out.
Yeah. You know, it'd be really nice. It'd be really nice if more commercial breweries, I don't know, Harrison's, Wild Child, Overtone, some of these these commercial breweries that are putting out commercial beers, it'd be really nice if they could make an alt beer or something like that, which I do believe personally, would be an absolute winner on a commercial scale, because most people won't have drunk one, but after they do, they're going to be set, because it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful German ale, and I absolutely wholeheartedly recommend, if you haven't made one, contact Owen or contact me. We'll send you a recipe. You need to try it. Stunning beer. Absolutely amazing. It's very drinkable.
You may not like this comment I'm about to make, Chris, but I think I preferred the alt beer over the Märzen.
I'm not going to hate you for that, because there are days when I prefer the alt beer over the Märzen.
Yeah, I always found the Märzen was just a little bit too sweet.
Yes,
and it was a little bit too floral, whereas the alt beer I think actually was a little bit more malty.
I'll give you that.
A little bit drier.
I thought that alt beer was very, very Moorish. I think my one disappeared in about 2 minutes. So really drinkable.
Very smashable. I'm going to be remaking that actually.
Nice session beer, actually.
The keg didn't last very long, but that's not because I drank it all. I actually ended up, because I bottled a whole load for you guys when I came up to see you in Leeds. and then I bottled a whole load for Homebrew Club. Well, not a whole load, but like 3 or 4 bottles. And then I bottled a load for work, for my colleagues at work. And to be fair, Chris, hats off to you on the recipe. I got absolutely rave reviews from every single person at work that I gave it to. And one of the guys, Peter, who's a Polish lad, said it's the best beer he's ever drunk.
Hey.
Whoa.
Clearly, this man needs to go to Dortmund.
That is a bold statement, right?
I mean, I can understand why he said it.
And there were a few like proper craft beer aficionados in there, and they were also saying very
I think
nice.
It's a very like approachable style for people who, even if you're not into like the craft sort of end of the market, people who are into, you know, more traditional like English ales and stuff, it's not that far away from a, you know, a sort of dark English bitter or something, is it? So
I'll be honest with you, what I found
it's got a wide appeal, I reckon.
The alt beer, what I found is to say it's the German equivalent of an English bitter, I think is a very accurate statement.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the way that they've made it with the early hopping and very little in the way of late, I think that is one of those things that a lot of people can get into because it's not in your face hoppy. It's not like stupidly floral or anything like that. It does very much rest upon the backbone of the malt, and using Pilsner and Vienna absolutely allows that maltiness along with the Cara Munich and the crystals and Carafa and whatever else you put in it. It does allow it to have that malty backbone, which gives it a sweetness, but not an over sweetness. And it allows that biscuit character to come through and be complemented by the hops that you're using. It's a good one.
Did you use mainly sort of authentic German malts in your beer, Owen, or was it a...
Stop playing with your nipples, Owen.
Sorry. I just had a... I don't know. When we're talking about old beers, it just arouses me. I think I did, Chucky. I'm pretty sure I did.
I think it's a real good sort of showcase for the some of those German malts like your Cara Munichs, and
because it's all Vienna, isn't it?
Vienna and
from
stuff
memory.
Like
that. I think it's all Vienna from memory. I can't remember what maltsters I used. I'm fairly sure I used a Bohemian floor malted Vienna from Warminster.
Nice.
I think.
Nice.
I don't know if it's Bohemian. I don't know what makes a malt Bohemian.
The fact that the malt is grown in Bohemia.
Oh, right. Okay.
To be fair, though, I found that the Warminster malt is fantastic. I found that the floor malted Warminster malt is, for me, for my taste buds, which are fucked, is very close to the German equivalent. It's really nice.
Do you want to hear
something
funny?
Warminster malts are just good all round, to be fair. From the ones I've
seen. Funny? Doesn't contain any Vienna at all.
Fuck off, really?
Yeah.
It's your recipe, Chris.
I mean, I thought you'd correct me.
Are you seriously expecting me to know every recipe that I have?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. So it's Pilsner. I used Weimann Pilsner, just their straight Pilsner. Munich. Cara Munich 2 and Carafa 3,
which is what I use. Yeah.
Great recipe.
And pretty much all legit German malts then.
It's good beer.
Keeping it authentic.
The Dusseldorf alt yeast.
Santi's giving me shit because the fact that I haven't had a shave for 2 weeks. Great. It's just what I need.
That's
I've got
2 weeks. 2 weeks growth there, is it,
mate? I grow more hair around my bollocks than I do on my face.
Yeah.
Harry, whilst you're in, if I was to order a case of your beers today, would I receive them on Tuesday? I'll let you put that one in the chat.
You just putting out your own personal shopping queries.
I've run out of Harrison's beers. My fridge is empty of Harrison's beers. And to be fair, after the quality of beers I had from Harrison's brewery, I'm really not liking this fact, and I need more. and therefore I want another one of the weirdo mix crates that I had before shipped to me as soon as humanly possible.
That seems fair. Is Jeff Bezos on the on YouTube? Jeff, I ordered something 2 days ago. Still not here.
I mean, Amazon shit. I'm not collecting it, Harry. You're going to have to ship it out, mate. I'm not driving to Retford.
I like it. He's like, no. No.
Yeah, fuck that.
Fine, I'll order from Arbor then.
Rude.
I'm joking. I will order from him. I do really like the mad mix case that I got with the funky labels. They were amazing. If anybody who's listening to this podcast right now has not ordered from Harrison's Brewery, go onto their website, put an order in, and just say the Hop Edition sent you, which will get you absolutely nothing. However, it may get Harry to throw you some of his weird.
You'll get a massive 0% discount by quoting the Hop Edition when you order.
Absolutely,
you'll get a free gift in the box of absolutely nothing.
Oh, hang on a sec. I think Matt's just phoned me. One second.
Oh, this is going to be slightly awkward.
Live drama on the pod.
A live call on the.
So anyway, in the meantime, I'm drinking a 5 Points bitter that I brewed. This is the recipe that was promoted by the Craft Beer Channel and available on the Malt Miller. Quite a few people have brewed this already that we know. So got some rave reviews and tried it at BrewCon, and it was really good. And it was this. Now, I remember, Owen, you went and tried the real thing at London Craft Beer Fest, and I think your impression of it was it tasted like a bag of twigs.
Yeah, I was not. It wasn't my thing. It was not my thing, to be fair.
Yeah. Now I can kind of see where you were coming from with that, because it does have a very like earthy, woody kind of
very
note to it. I mean, there's shitloads of fuggles in there, which it's not really surprising. And I think the yeast gives a little bit of a kind of oaky, woody sort of ester profile as well on there. So there is a very kind of woody, earthy kind of thing to it, but it's just drinking like a really nice cask ale at the moment. So I'm enjoying it. It's a little bit young, so it does need a bit more time, but problem is once you get these things hooked up to the beer engine, you just fucking slap through them, don't you? So
it's dangerous. Yeah. I haven't had a beer on the engine for a while, and it's probably like my health is probably better off for it. But, Andy said to me, because I was saying about how I didn't really enjoy that particular beer at London Craft Beer Festival, and he said like, "Oh, try the homebrew version. It's quite different, whatever." But by your assessment, it sounds a little like perhaps it's not all that.
Well, if that was the sort of flavor that was bothering you about the real one, I'm not sure. But then I've heard other people describe the homebrew versions quite differently to that. So,
I guess for the large part, because it's an all Fuggles beer, it's probably very dependent on, like, I don't know, the type of Fuggles hops you get, right? Because they are invariably going to change batch to batch and
definitely
all that sort of stuff, right? So, yeah, I guess it's a luck of the draw, but maybe I'd just make it with like EKG or something.
Yeah. Well, the one that was being served up at BrewCon was really nice. So yeah, this one does have a little bit more of that sort of earthy woodiness to it. I think that one was a little bit maybe smoother, easier to drink, but that had probably been given a lot more time to come good than this one, I think. Somebody asked if I put in a video up for this. I think they probably will do a video, maybe if I get around to it. Yeah.
Whatever.
I think I'm just trying to remember if I actually took any footage for it, but
you're going to be like, check out my gold Malt Miller mug.
It's basically, it will just be an excuse just to sort of put this up to the camera and go,
there you go. There you go. Luke, Chris is not ordering a kebab. Chris is actually on the phone to Matt Curtis, who unfortunately, he's not been able to join us so far. So
he's either offering tech support at this point, or
possibly some tech support.
Just having a chat. I don't know.
Who knows? They've been chatting a while, it would seem. So all good. Whether Matt joins us or not, I think if he doesn't join us, we're just going to rock a commercial podcast. If he does join us, great. We've got lots of prep, and we'll be able to roll on as we planned. If not, we'll reschedule, hopefully, and do it another time. But either way. So what am I drinking? I'm drinking the Level Up, which is an elusive beer, which is an American red ale.
On the clone beers tonight now, aren't we?
We're all on the clone beers. So we brewed this on one of the live brew days, I think. Didn't we, Tricky?
We did, yes. That was the last live brew day, in fact.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, it was.
It was. I actually did a double batch of this, and I went for... So if people aren't aware of this particular brewery and this particular beer, so Elusive Brewing is a relatively small-scale brewery in... Where is it? Near Reading? That area?
Yes.
Right opposite
Siren. Yeah, I was going to say they're over the road from Siren, aren't they?
That's right. And they make some great beers. You guys might remember me talking about their Black IPA, which they released the recipe for during COVID, which is called Shadow of the Beast. So Level Up is called
Number of the Beast.
Yeah, maybe. But he names all of his beers after old school computer games, doesn't he? Yes. Like sort of like Atari era. Yeah.
So Level Up, the can design looks like the background for Donkey Kong or something like that, doesn't it? With all the ladders.
I think it's all like pre-SNES.
Yeah.
Kind of computer gaming. So Level Up is an American red ale, which they number. So each time that they do a batch, they change the hops that they put in it. So they are up to, I don't know what number they're up to, like 50 odd, maybe 40 odd, something like that.
I think it was 30 something, the last one that they put out, because I thought going to buy 42. One to drink against the one that I made, but I never got round to it. I think that's obviously you can buy it from Elusive, but they've got it on Malt Miller as well, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Because obviously we all needed to have extra beers available to buy off the Malt Miller website as well as all the brewing kit. That really helps, doesn't it?
I think they're big friends, and obviously Andy Parker.
Yep,
it's Andy Parker, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
So Andy's known as the nicest guy in brewing, lovely chap. He gets about on the scene, I think.
Oh, and he the book that we get the recipes out for the live brew days, he
wrote that book, co-authored that book
with Graham Wheeler. So
I'm giving a lot of background here. So anyway, I chose to use Simcoe and Cashmere, and it is a really, really top quality brew. Like head retention's amazing, and look at that lacing. Really, really pleased with that. Clarity is slowly clearing up, but with USO 5, it's just always a bit of a challenge to try to get this bright. But it's super complex. It's got like nice kind of brown, sugary, molasses type kind of aromas on the nose. Loads of complexity with the crystal malt that's in there. And actually, I'm not sure if you've noticed this, Tricky, because I assume you brewed it. Mm-hmm. You do get a little bit of that like dryness that comes from using crystal malt.
Yeah.
Do you ever get that? Kind of like a sort of just a really light astringency, I guess, that maybe comes.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Sort of after that sweetness on the finish, it kind of can. So like gentle astringency, I guess I would call it, rather than maybe more so than dryness. But
it's almost unnoticeable, but it's really well balanced in terms of hop presence, some malt. I'm super pleased. Super drinkable, 5%. Very, very pleasant brew. I think I'll put that on the rebrew list. I will put that on the rebrew. So, yeah. Chris, what was... you had a nice chat, did you?
Looks like Matt's still not joining us.
Yeah, basically Matt's not going to be joining us today. The conversation was basically he's just got back from America because he was up for a load of awards. Seriously, stop ringing me. Yeah, Luke's arse-dialing us.
I think that was Mr. Brooks that time.
Oh, was that Richie Brooks?
Yeah,
I think it might have been an arse.
Somebody's arse-dialed us. Basically, what happened is he was in America for an award, and he's only just got back, and basically he's currently set 7 hours different to us. And more importantly, when he got home, there was some sort of family issue, which means he's currently not actually available to come onto the podcast. He's got other things that he's doing. But what he said is...
Shit happens.
He will absolutely come on, make it up to us, do a podcast with us. He's going to email you, Owen, to try and square something up. But this is life. This is what happens, okay? We can sit here and we could rip the shit out of him. But the bottom line is,
we still want him to come on the podcast. Yeah,
this is what happens. So we're going to save the hatred and vitriol for the next podcast, where hopefully is going to be.
Try and get him to send us some compensation beers first, and then rip the shit out of him. Yeah?
I'm pretty sure if we just email him, he will sort us out. But to be fair, family stuff can happen to any of us at any time, and we are flexible enough to know. I mean, we've got a Scotsman who's too much of a pansy to come on tonight, so.
Ouch!
You know, fucking man flu, man.
Life happens, man.
This is. I'm joking, Andy. By the way, I know you feel like crap. This is what happens. So the bottom line is, these things happen. We will do. What do you mean? It's some sort of ceremony you should perform as you're no longer Harrison's virgin. You're supposed to show your ass in Parliament Square, mate. That's what you're supposed to do. But the bottom line is. Life happens. We have to be flexible. We organize a podcast for a certain day, and we're in different corners of the world. So we have to be able to organize it. And the bottom line is we've all got enough commercial beer that we should be fine by now. So he's not coming. He's not going to make it. That's the end of it. We'll just crack on. We'll do a commercial, and we'll organize it for the next time.
We always have the option of just drinking beer and talking shit. So, you know. Good.
Isn't that what we do all the time?
It's a good plan B.
Now that you mention it. That's pretty much, that's every pod, isn't it? Yeah, shit.
Yeah, okay. Pretty much.
That's not true.
We tell everyone that we plan these things.
We have some notes. Normally,
we did make notes. There were
which we occasionally follow. It's an important distinction. So I've got some really good commercial beers with me. So I'm actually quite pleased to be able to chat
about those now and not worry about
whose commercial is it we're drinking? Where are we up to?
I'm still
we're still just drinking
we've been through what we're drinking.
The initial homebrew starters. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've just found a Harrison.
Yeah, I'm nearly gone, so
I thought you said you didn't have any.
I've got one left.
Harry did come back to you and he said Tuesdays and Thursdays are when the courier turns up to pick up the beers.
Oh, well, in that case, if I order it today, I should get them Wednesday.
Well, in theory, yeah.
Incidentally, the wife happens to be off on a Wednesday. So I don't want it on a Wednesday. I don't want a massive box of beers turning up on a Wednesday. I better order it on Wednesday for delivery on Friday.
Well, I think that might work. But what he meant was you don't have to come and collect it.
I'm not driving to Retford.
Of course you aren't.
No, they eat babies down there. It's like fucking Lancashire.
That's a strong comment.
I mean, you are heading south, so that's towards civilization,
that's
not
a
away
good point.
From it, you know.
Yeah, but if it ain't Yorkshire, it's shit, isn't it? Yeah.
Good. I've heard next week's going to be an interesting week weather-wise for you guys up north.
Yeah, it's always an interesting week weather-wise, mate.
I've heard you're going to get to like minus 10, 11 next week with snow all week.
I might have to put a jumper on.
You might have
not quite big coat weather yet. Then,
nah, mate, it's not snowing yet. It's not big coat weather.
You'll still be out like barbecuing.
I've literally got
in his shorts and flip flops out in the garden.
Yeah, absolutely.
lifting the Cabernet lid to stop the snow falling off it. Come on, love. We'll.
I'll let you know, Harry.
Get the burgers on.
I promise you, Harry, I will drive down. Oh, because you're out that day. Okay, mate. Well, in that case, I won't fucking bother. Bollocks to that. No. Fuck it. The beardos are they're ganging up on me here. Yeah, in fact, this beer's shit. I'm going to go and tip it away.
Handbags down.
Yeah, no, it's fine, actually.
Come on. This is the first commercial beer.
So this is just the standard Harrison's Pale Ale, which is citrus and grapefruit. So I'm assuming it's like Chinook and Cascade or Citra and Cascade. Oh, wait there. It says it on the back. It's Chinook and Cascade. And to be fair, there's fucking not wrong with this beer. It's perfectly drinkable. Perfectly drinkable. Bit of crystal, bit of extra pale, some hops, USO5. I mean, what more could you want from a pale ale?
What's not to
Can't
like?
go wrong with that, can you?
I mean,
that was the construct of like craft beer, for a decade.
It's essentially the basis of everything from Sierra Nevada onwards.
Basically, yeah.
It's a wonderful brew. It tastes really nice.
I personally think Chinook is an underrated hop. I personally,
depending on where
Chinook.
you put it in the recipe.
You've had a bad experience with
it
recently.
I like the resinous. Yeah. I like the kind of piney character that comes from it. I just like the beer. It's 4.1%. It's a smashable pale ale.
I've had all Chinook beers that I've really enjoyed, but I think just when it's put in at certain points, well, specifically dry hopping, I'm not quite so keen.
I think you've got to match it's the right style of beer, and I think it's an aggressive hop. So you do have to be careful with how you use it, but it's a wonderful hop. I think that you can get absolutely tons of grapefruit out of it if you use it right. I put it in my Hokum Stomp beer not so long ago, and I personally think Chinook in a dark beer works really well.
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
I think it works.
To be fair, it's so bad a beer. It's so horrifically horrible. I'm halfway through it. It's perfectly drinkable. It's a smashable 4.1%. It's a cracker. What more do you want?
Sounds awful.
Oh, Owen's into the little box of treats there.
Yeah, my little ice box.
I bet we're straight into dipper territory here, aren't we? It's going to be like 8.5% or something.
No. It's only
23%.
It's only 6.8%.
Only 6.8. Oh, breakfast beer then.
So this beer I really love. Right. So you guys know that I've got a beer advent calendar, and this was today's advent calendar contribution. Which is from Pomona Island, which is one of my favourite
very good
breweries up in Salford, and it's called Bobson Dugnut, and I think it's a 90s sort of take on. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. It's a 90s take on like football stickers. Hold on, I need to show you this. Oh, what's happened? Right, I just need to check if my Audacity is still running. Yes, it is.
Going to have some focus issues there. Oh, there it is.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
So this is called
Panini 86, that one, isn't it?
This is cool, right? And check out the fact that
it's like...
It's a hologram sticker.
It's actually a shiny.
That's amazing.
That is nice, mate.
This is a sour farmhouse IPA. And you can look at that. How cool is that? I'm really chuffed for that. Anyway,
that is proper pimping.
And then they've put the descriptions as jump, speed, strength, special skills, and overall rating.
That's quality.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
fair
fair play to Pomona for
pumped.
putting the extra effort in. That's really good.
That's cool, isn't it? So yeah, and I'm actually quite excited because I think my next brew is going to be a farmhouse ale. It's not going to be an IPA. It's going to be a dry hopped farmhouse ale, but it's going to be made with Brett.
Oh dear, he's going in. He's going balls deep into the world of Brett.
I am. I'm going to go mixed firm,
and not just balls deep into Brett Harmon like he has done before.
Yeah. So how are you going to fit Brett into the fermenter? Because he's quite sizable chap.
He's not.
No, he's
tiny.
not. Fucking this big.
Well, yeah, but for
I'll just drop him.
Still struggle getting him into a 25-litre bucket. I reckon.
You'd be surprised what you could fit in if you blend it.
Like a floating hydrometer.
If you fold him up, maybe.
Oh mate, Brett gets so much shit for being a bollard, doesn't he?
So it's looking like a sort of slightly hazy, but like light beer, straw coloured, next to no head.
I'll be up here, guys.
I guess is kind of what you expect from a sour beer quite often. Amazing nose on it. So this is like obviously an IPA, so it's super hops with Mosaic, Citra, Zaka, and Hallertau Blanc. Saison New 6.8%. So it smells super fresh, really lemony. Also tropical fruity. Definitely get a little hint of sourness on there.
Just a word of warning for you in the chat there, Owen. Jamie says, careful. Last time I did something with Brett, he shat in my room and left without a word. So, you know, something to bear in mind.
I love Brett. I'm just going to write, I love Brett. And I do love Brett. I love the smell of Brett. I love the taste of Brett. I'm a big Brett fan. What can I say? What can I say? It's much more sour than it smells. It's got a decent level of sourness, like that sort of like first taste.
So proper face puckering sour then, rather than. How much of the Brett is there? Is it goatee, horse blankets?
I actually don't think that
garden shed Bretty.
I don't think that this sour is made with Brett. I was saying the one that I'm going to make is with Brett.
There's no
there's no Brett in this one. But super refreshing, pretty sour. It does have that IPA kind of vibe going on. Kind of in the back end, you just get a little bit more like, you know how sometimes sours can be a bit one-dimensional. They can just be a bit like, oh, it's sour, oh, it's lactic acid, and it's beer, and then it's normally quite dry.
Mm-hmm.
You have to push back the foreskin a little bit to get a decent sour.
Yeah, and it's kind of, it's refreshing, but there's not
Tricky
much there.
Hates that sentence.
You know,
every time.
Whereas the back end of this has actually got a little bit more interesting.
You're getting
flavors.
Brett from the back end.
Not Brett. There's no Brett.
Especially when you're talking about describing a sour beer as well. I don't want to think about peeling back foreskins while you're inoculating your sour beer with Brett. It's just no.
Okay, so I feel that we're currently shitting on Owen's review, and we need to back the fuck up.
Yeah, sorry, Owen. You carry on. Forget about the foreskin.
Are you two done?
Leave Brett's foreskin alone. That's what we're saying.
Are you finished? We've done enough Brett jokes now. All right, we're all Bretted out. Okay.
I'll let you carry on, because otherwise my beer's going to have gone before I even get a chance.
Let me finish.
Right.
That's it. That's all I had to say. There's some good hop aroma at the back end. Hop aroma, hop flavour. It's tasty. Well done, Pomona Island.
The fucking jokes write themselves here, don't they?
I bloody love the can art. I love the can art.
Oh dear.
I want to keep that can. I don't ever keep cans, but I'm going to keep this can.
What you need to do is you need to rinse it out, okay? And then you need to fill it with epoxy resin, and then you can literally stick it on your wall or put it on a shelf.
That seems like a little bit too much effort. I might just keep the can.
Why not just keep the can?
Yeah.
Forget about the epoxy.
I mean, I would.
I mean, I'm not too bothered about living forever. I'll keep it for a few months and then I'll probably forget about it. Oh, we've lost your audio.
Where's he gone?
No, I muted myself while I was vaping, but then I over dripped and I pissed fucking e-liquid out all over my brand new mod. So
good.
Over dripping can be a problem when you get older.
I've heard Brett say the same thing.
Yeah.
What do they call it when you get like a? They call it a botley. When you have like a sort of piss drip stain on your trousers.
I call it not changing your pants.
Don't think I've heard that one before.
Oh my god, Harry's in with the double entendres in the chat. Did somebody say foreskin? It lends a whole new meaning to ring pull. And Jamie saying inoculate it with the tip. Does the tip even count? The answer is no, Jamie, it doesn't. Fucking, I'm really glad Matt's not here tonight. I'll be honest with you, because we're in a fucking rude mood.
He may have been a bit put out.
Well, to be fair, it's good that we're in this kind of mood when he's not here. To be fair,
he seems like a nice, honest lad, Matt. I hope we don't debase him too much.
Nah, to be fair, the conversation that I had with him on the phone, I don't think he's easily offended.
No,
I think I called him a cunt twice.
Did you? Good.
Well done.
Solid. That's a solid innings for.
That would definitely encourage him
back.
Was
a 5-minute telephone
rearranged.
He laughed about it, to be fair, so we're all good. Right, Tricky, do your beer before it's all gone.
Oh yeah, right. So,
that is good.
I've got a sour beer from Vocation. One of my few little Black Friday purchases was a box of beers from Vocation because they had a few specials on. This is Passion Star, passion fruit sour, 5%. Sabro, Simcoe, and Galaxy in it as well. And anything else on there we can talk about? Barley, wheat, oats, and lactose in there as well. So there we have it. Looks like fruit juice. Smells like sour beer. It's mainly, obviously, it does smell of passion fruit a lot, but it's got that kind of like lactic, yogurty tang on the aroma. And yeah, very tropical. Don't know how much of that is just like the passion fruit itself and how much is coming from the hops, but definitely smells like tropical juice. And the sourness is quite approachable, but it's still got a nice tang to it. So I think a lot of the sour beers that are coming out from places like Vocation at the moment, I think one of the reasons they're putting like lactose and stuff in it is just to sort of soften it a little bit as far as the tartness goes. So it's not a, turn your face inside out kind of sour beer. It's the sort of thing that, if people are used to sort of drinking things like dry ciders and stuff like that, it's not that much of a jump from that to this kind of sourness in a beer. And the fruitiness is lovely. Again, definitely a very sort of yogurty kind of lactic sort of tang on the flavor as well. So, yeah, it's pretty nice, to be fair. I'm enjoying that. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
I think actually using a little lactose just does balance that sour out a little bit. I think.
Yeah.
Is it what they sort of refer to as like a pastry sour?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is not quite sweet enough that I would have immediately picked up on that and gone, this is more of a pastry sour. Drink it, but it's definitely not like that instant face, melting kind of sourness that you get with some sour beers. But I've noticed that Brew York do that with a lot of their sour beers as well, which are also sort of very much in the kind of, more approachable end of the sort of sourness and pH scale, I guess. And they all seem to have lactose in them. So, yeah, my first sour beer.
I think it's broadly more appealing for the majority, right? But Brew York actually are a good example of guys that are big fans of pastry sours. I think for the most part, from a marketing perspective, it probably draws more people in. to go, that sounds interesting. And it's normally got a funny name, and it's normally about 3 different fruits and some wacky other contribution. And actually, most of the ones that I've had from them have been really good.
Yeah, I think I had had a couple of them from the last batch of beers I got from Brew York. The Simon Lemon, which is quite nice. That's the sort of sherbet lemony kind of style one, which is really decent. But again, very definitely a good whack of lactose gone into that, because it's quite a gentle sort of sourness, and it does really taste a lot like, you know, sherbet lemons. They kind of nailed the description on there. And then I think there's the Goose Willis or something is the gooseberry, like a gooseberry tart sour or something like that. So, but yeah, they're all very, you know, approachable. I'm not a massive like, you know, I'm not massively into sour beers, but I found those ones very much, you know, easy drinking and quite inoffensive as far as the sourness goes. So yeah, if I was going to make a sour, I would probably go down that route myself, I think.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking that same route in terms of, I wonder, for commercial breweries these days producing sours, do you reckon that the Lallemand yeast has kind of really opened a lot of doors for commercial brew? Do you think that's how they favour souring, or do you think they just add a crap load of lactic acid? Or do you reckon they actually genuinely kettle sour?
I mean, I think there must be a hell of a lot of breweries that are maybe now getting into doing sour beers that are going down that route, because it is so much easier, and doesn't involve, you know, tying up equipment and things like that, which they would need to be, you know, using for other things. So I think unless you know, those breweries already had a sort of sour beer kind of program or approach already in place, I think I'm sure the majority of people who are starting to do it now as a new thing would probably, at least at first, probably go down that route now. Because I mean, even from a home brew scale, that would, for me, would be a much more appealing prospect to try that, rather than the much more complex processes involved in, you know, kettle souring or whatever other method you would choose to go for.
Yeah, I think Philly Sour was probably a bit of a game changer.
Yeah,
certainly was for homebrewers. But that said, is it quite expensive?
I think no idea.
From memory, it is reasonably expensive. But anyway, we don't know the answer. We can merely speculate. Andy seems to think it's kettle souring, but I'm not so sure. Good. What should we chat about now then?
Sorry, I've literally.
No, I thought Chris was about to say something, but yeah, go on, Chris.
I've been digging in the depths of my fridge, because I didn't actually realize it, but I've actually got 4 layers of beers on the bottom shelf. And I'm like, I know for a fucking fact that Harry sent me a beer and I've not drunk it yet. And it's one that everybody raves about and I've not drunk it. So I've just dug in and I've found it. So I've got another Harrison's beer to review on this commercial pod whilst Harry's in the chat. I mean, I've got like 40 beers to put back in the fridge, so please talk amongst yourselves. Owen's got one to do before me.
So what is it, though? Tell us what it is.
Well, I can't do that because that'll ruin the surprise, won't it? I'll give you a flash at the back of the can.
Oh, well, that's got the name on it.
Well, there's a name on it, isn't there? Harry, why are you putting it on the back? There you go. Coconut Shy PA. I've not actually drunk this yet. Right, I'm going to try and get all these beers back in the fridge. Talk amongst yourselves. I am still here. I'm still contributing.
I'm happy to talk about the Coconut Shy IPA. Just broadly. Let's chat about that, Tricky.
Do that. In fact, do you know what? You know what we need to do? We need to take the midpoint break where we actually talk about real life. That's what we need to do. Because normally during a podcast, we take a break and we talk about, like, the commercial break. Whereas in these commercial brews, what we do is we more talk about the life in general and what's been happening and stuff like that. So guys, feel free, talk about Omicron and all the variants of COVID that are going to kill us pretty soon, or don't. It's up to you.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
No, I'd rather keep away from topical subjects. I'm not really sure that's our field of expertise. I'm not sure beer is probably
no that either.
Our field of expertise. So, but Coconut Shy IPA, I'm a big fan of that beer.
Is your volume down a little bit, Owen? You're a little bit quiet at the minute.
Oh, sorry, mate. It is down.
There we go.
It is down. Now you can hear me. I've made it twice, homebrewing the Coconut Shy IPA, and I've enjoyed it greatly both times that I've made that beer. And it is.
I've never done it. Talk to me about your process for getting the coconut in there.
So I'm pretty sure what I've done both times is I've used toasted coconut that you can buy just from like a health food store, or I think I've got mine from Amazon. You get a big bag of it, and I've used it in the whirlpool. And then I've bagged it up, I think, in the past, just because it is quite messy. And it can seriously clog any pump because it doesn't break down. It will just remain in its form, right? And then I've also then used it in and then you use it in the dry hop. But from memory, I think it's a mosaic. I think it might be hopped with either Columbus or Cascade. I think it might be bittered with Columbus, a late edition of Cascade, in with Mosaic, dry hopped Mosaic, and then you add coconut in the whirlpool and the dry hop. And you do get bags of coconut on it. And it's a really great, just kind of, I would probably say like a nice, almost bitter recipe, like in terms of a grist. So it's got some crystal malt in there.
Mm-hmm.
Super crushable, really sessionable, lovely coconut aroma that just plays off that mosaic beautifully. It is a quality, and I'm surprised I've not made it more, actually.
Fuck, that was a glass going for a Burton.
So yeah, Harry's saying whirlpool and dry hop. And Harry says he now waxes through the food processor. So if you get that, for some reason I look like I've got some sort of golden shower going on.
Yeah,
on the live stream.
Is that Brett?
What?
Yeah, that's the weather here in Southampton. Yeah, if you blitz up that toasted coconut in a blender, I think Harry's saying you get better surface area and better extraction from it. So yeah, it's a banging beer. Have you?
Well, there it is. There it is.
Right, I'm sorry, Chris. I'm gonna have to make an exit for a few minutes.
That's fine, mate. Crack on.
No bother. That's one of the homebrew recipes that, very well rated homebrew recipes that I'm yet to make, but it will have to go on the list. The Shy IPA. How old is that one that you've got, Chris?
It's quite old.
That for a while.
It's quite old, yeah. However, I could taste the coconut. That comes through.
Coconut is still kicking,
clear as a bell. I'm really hoping that this has got mosaic in it as well, because I can taste blueberries.
Yeah, I think it has. Yeah,
it has Columbus and mosaic. I've got to admit, I was dubious, very, very dubious about coconut in a pale ale. I mean, coconut in a stout, yeah, you give it, yeah, it is what it is. But this, Jesus Christ, this is a really nice beer. It smells. It smells like it's got. As weird as it sounds, it smells like it's got coconut in it. Okay, there's a really good coconut aroma. I'm getting some pininess. I'm getting a little bit of that dank kind of Columbus smell. Just a tiny bit, just a hint, not a lot. I'm also getting like fruit, weirdly enough. I make a pie, which is cherry, blueberry, and I put a coconut layer on it with some almonds on top. It's like a bastardized version of a what's that tart? I can't remember the tart with almonds and like fruit and shit. It's it's got some weird name. Anyway, it's one of them. But this is really, really nice. It's Harry, you've got to stop making these beers so bloody smashable, mate. I'm finishing them before I finish reviewing them. It's a great beer. I mean, yeah, the clarity is what it is, but to be fair, I've just fucked around my fridge 3 times trying to find the beer. So what do you expect? But the flavor is amazing. I mean, I'm getting loads of coconut. I'm getting a really big hit of the blueberry from the mosaic, and I'm getting the tropical fruit as well.
Beautiful. I love a blueberry mosaic.
Oh God, that's good.
And what's interesting is you don't really find coconut in a pale beer.
No, you don't.
You very rarely find that,
and it works.
And it works beautifully. Especially,
have you ever seen it in any other commercial like pale ales at all? Because I don't think I have. Apart from,
I don't know. You might have seen it in a sour or two, but
yeah.
Other than that, it's more exclusively kept to stouts, I find.
Yeah.
Stouts and porters.
I do have a quick question for Harry. Harry, you know the coconut that you used, was it toasted coconut or was it straight coconut? That's my only question.
Because I think it's toasted.
Because I've got like 3/4 of a kilo of toasted coconut. If Harry would be kind enough to, I mean, I don't know, are his recipes on his website? Are they on there? Because I could do with making this beer. It's just beautiful. It's so fucking drinkable.
It's on like Brewfather and stuff like that. I don't think it's technically not Harry's. Technically Harry's recipe. It's
stunning.
It's Homebrew Tom's recipe, isn't it?
Oh, Harry's dropping some celeb brewer names in there in the chat. Jager Wise tried it and tweeted about it.
Jager Wise sounds like a character from Star Wars. It sounds like he should be working for the Empire.
It's the head brewer for Wild Card that is presenting the Beer Masters series on Amazon Prime.
I'm 8 minutes into the first episode. Harry, you've got to stop making these beers so smashable, mate, because this one's going to fucking disappear. This is a stunning beer, a cracking beer, and I would love to taste this fresh out of the fermenter. Like, I would like to taste this uncarbonated. I would like to taste this off of a hand pull, because I think the coconut would come through even more.
Oh, so just to clarify, I think it was a collaboration effort on the recipe.
Fuck off, that's ace.
But Tom brewed it first, according to Harry.
That's fucking stunning.
Well, I apologise, Harry.
Volume, Owen.
I apologise, Harry. I didn't realise it was a collaboration. Credit to Harry too.
Mate, that's fucking banging. I don't care what anyone says, that's an absolute banger. It's a banger of a beer. Guys, seriously, if you've not ordered anything from Harrison's Brewery, get on the website and get a fucking mixed case ordered now.
Get one of those funky new glasses as well, because
I'm
love
pissed off I never got
the
glass.
Robot fermenter glass design.
Yeah, seriously, Harry, where's my
missus bought
glass?
me the 12 beers of Christmas and a glass, but being a Christmas present, it's still sat in the garage in the box. But that review's made me want to go and like surreptitiously sneak a couple of beers out of that, but.
That's just fucking beautiful. I don't give a shit what anyone says, and I know it's an old beer, mate. But oh my good lord, that's a banger. That's an absolute banger. That's now given me a purpose for the 800 grams of toasted coconut I've got left over.
You should brew it. I think I have tried Harry's commercial version.
Oh, I tell you what, that would be a good shout for one of the live brew days, wouldn't
it? It
would.
Oh
yeah,
coming.
Get that done.
Maybe we could even get Harry to make an appearance on one of them as well.
Harry did that. Was willing to share the actual recipe that he uses, I mean, I'd be very happy because that is a cracker, an absolute cracker. Really, really nice beer.
It's going on. It's going on my rebrew list for sure.
For shizzle.
Shut the fuck up! That's amazing. That's awesome. I mean, the warmer it gets, because it's at like 4 degrees in this fridge. The warmer I'm having to really put it to one side, because the warmer it gets, the more coconut I'm getting. It's such a fucking nice beer. Oh man!
So you don't rate it that much then, Chris?
Nah, it's shit.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Fucking ace. Oh my god, that's a good beer. That is a good beer. Oh man. Anyway, nice. So are we going to talk about life in general? Are we going to talk about the fact that London Craft Beer Festival tickets for 2022 are available? And if you
who managed to actually grab one at the early bird price?
Well, my boy Santi from Spain, he was in Galicia at the time, managed to buy two. Galicia. Yeah.
Galicia.
You see what I'm doing? I'm actually saying it like I'm Spanish and I've no fucking clue. But he managed to order 2 tickets. I'm going to sort out the train tickets. Me and my boy Santi, we're going to be there. We're going to be there.
I'll be there for sure.
Riding it like a dirty bitch. We're going to be there.
I'll get my ticket at some point.
The question that I have live on the podcast, Owen, is, should I invite Dave?
Yes.
Because Dave was a legend. We need to get Dave down.
I enjoyed Dave's company very much. What a good guy.
I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping
he's
still going to be alive.
Oh, and for the benefit of those not in the chat, the Wildlings are venturing down south of the wall as well to come and join in with the London Craft Beer Festival. So
if Andy doesn't wear
it'll be nice to see you there, Andy, and hopefully a couple of the others.
If Andy does not have a kilt on, I'm going to be unimpressed.
They'll have to just brush up on their, their English words and accents.
Yeah. So if they say,
so we can understand them.
If they say taps off, right, that doesn't mean turn the taps off. It means take your t-shirt off. Just trying to translate.
Most of the time, I just got called a good cunt.
I mean, standard for anybody from Scotland or from New Zealand, that one, isn't it? Now, Santi, Dave was not sober. Dave was not fucking sober. If you think Dave was sober, mate, you're fucking wrong. He was pissed as a twat. He was not sober.
Well, considering Dave is, in his 70s, and he hacked it with us. He outdrank me.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, I think if Dave had consumed quite as much as what I'd had, then...
I'm not so sure he indulged in the pastry stouts to the extent that you did towards the end.
I'm not sure he indulged in as many MP barrel-aged stouts as I did, but...
No, he didn't. However, to be fair, he's 70-odd-year-old, and he stayed with us beer for beer through the whole day, right up to the point where Owen went in and drank 23 pints in 18 minutes.
Yeah.
I have, to this day, absolutely no memory of that.
Oh.
He was brilliant. All right, I'm going to invite Dave. I'm going to tell him to order a ticket for next year.
Good. All right. So, what is that? Enough live chat now, or
come on, get on the beers, boys.
Come on, then.
I think Owen's video feed has gone a bit.
It has. I've got golden shower back.
Back again.
He's fine on OBS. He's fine on YouTube. He's fine on my video.
Oh no, YouTube just went a bit odd. What am I drinking next?
What's the 14% beer you've got now, Owen?
Look at this.
Oh, hello.
Look at this.
Owen's all about the can art today, isn't he?
Verdant.
Look at this.
Danger.
Is that the one you put up the other day, actually, isn't it? Verdant times Polly. Yeah.
So this is Verdant and Polly collaborating, 2 of my favourite breweries, on a beer called Fashion is Danger, an 8% dipper, Idaho 7 hot side, Citra Nelson Sauvin cold side. What's not to like about that beer? Hey? Oh, focus check. So I'm pretty excited. Pretty exciting.
Citra and Nelson, that's one of those pretty like foolproof combos, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, Citra
If
Nelson.
you're not rocking the Citra and Nelson, Nelson and Motueka.
Yep. To be fair, when these guys say hot side, I'm fairly certain they just mean a massive Whirlpool edition.
Yeah. It's not like they're chucking that all in at 60 minutes, is it?
No. I'm gonna put it in the same glass as the sour and hope that it doesn't ruin it. Give it a little pour. So as you would expect,
nice. That does look very nice.
It is bright yellow, thick, huge head, looks heavy, pillowy. Enjoying it in my new cloud water. Great glass. These are awesome, these glasses.
Oh.
Love them.
I've had one for 6 months. Just saying.
Oh, that Nelson just screams out of the glass. And the Citra together. I don't know what makes it so good. It's just a little bit of that sort of slightly dank bit from the Citra and the really juicy grape thing from the Nelson. Just comes together so nicely. I'm not really getting the Idaho on the nose. Maybe it's just rounding it all out with a nice kind of juicy.
I'm still a bit unsure as to what Idaho does like on its own, because it's one of those hops I've had it in loads of commercial beers that use it in combination with other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever had it as a standalone.
Probably one of those like.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I've done something and Audacity stopped.
Chris, you absolute.
Oh well.
What is going on here?
Knobhead.
I'm recording again.
It's probably one of those beers that's worth doing as a smash beer.
Love you, Andy. Harry, sorry. See you later, mate. Bye. Love you.
Bye, Harry.
Yeah, you want to like really explore that hop, don't you? Try and understand what it gives you. I've heard people describe it as like giving you marmalade, kind of marmalade type vibes.
Right. Okay.
So very orangey. I've also
a little bit Amarillo like, maybe.
Yeah.
Because Amarillo is another one of those hops where it's like, for me, it's like a great combination hop. It's used a lot in like NEPAs and things like that as a kind of layering hop without necessarily being the big, like flavor or aroma leader, as it were. But maybe Idaho 7 is a little bit like that in the sense that people are putting it in to kind of build up those layers of flavor, perhaps. Don't know. I might be talking complete shit, but
yeah, weirdly, like in my brain, and I'm not sure if anyone else, like how I think about hops and different hops is some hops, like those layering hops, I think of being quite wide and flat. Right? Whereas other hops that are more pronounced and aggressive, I see as kind of more thin and pointy.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm with you.
Does that seem to make any sense to anyone?
I think I know what you're getting at in terms of like some of them having a little bit more of a prominent contribution flavor wise, whereas others are maybe just changing the profile of the other hops they're paired with more than really showing up themselves. Is that kind of what you're?
Yeah, maybe. I think some hops are going to have like a real prominent like definition to the beer, whereas things like on the extension of what you've just talked about, it's like Idaho 7 and Amarillo and stuff like that, might be more that sort of layering base hop that kind of just fill in all the gaps.
Are you seriously describing hops in the terms of shapes?
Yes, yeah, I'm describing hops in terms of shapes, yeah.
Because I always think of colours in terms of shapes.
Do you? Well, in the same way as like music tones are described in colours, some people might describe them in shapes. I'm describing hops in shapes. You could describe them in colours, I guess. Have I had too many beers? I might have had too many beers already. Anyway, I only got as far as
hop is
what it smells
presenting as
like.
more of an oblong flavour profile to me.
I'm getting like a real like gooseberry papaya thing going on.
Oh, the Nelson gooseberry.
Yeah, and it's just full on tropical craziness. And I'm not sure if my palate's a little bit warped after having just finished a sour, but the flavour is. It's just, I don't know how to describe this. Like, you know, like melon has got that quite kind of wide, savoury, tropical kind of thing going on.
Like an oval.
It's not citrusy.
A fruity oval.
It's not tangy.
Flavour.
It's got like more of a rounded kind of tropical flavour going on.
Yeah, like a tropical oval.
Yeah. Like a tropical oval. Like imagine a rugby ball made of tropical fruit. That's what that beer tastes like.
You've
That's where my beer reviews have got to. These
perfectly
days.
In my mind now what that must taste like.
I've not even finished the double IPA yet, so.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
It's going
really
down
nice,
well
though.
though.
I'd recommend this a lot. I'm super excited about this beer, as you can tell. What are you guys drinking? Get off your phone, Chris, you fucking muppet.
I'm texting Dave so he buys his tickets for the craft beer festival.
Well, yeah, there's like, sort of 21 other hours of the next day that you can be doing that.
You don't understand how little extraneous processing power is left in my brain, okay? With everything that's going through my head at the moment, I'm trying to I'm sitting in my head going, well, shit, what shape is fucking Cascade? What shape do I see Idaho 7?
Oh,
what shape?
Cascade's definitely a triangle for me.
Well, you see, for me, Sabro is a decahedron. I see Sabro as a 3-dimensional shape. This is what my brain does, right? And you guys sit there and go, well, Chris, you're not paying any attention.
Mosaic, hexagon, I go.
Mosaic is definitely a hexagonal shape. It's multifaceted and multi-sided that it gives it that.
Also, it's easy to layer mosaic with hexagons as well. You can do a nice.
But for me, the only shape which is a flat straight line is Hallertauer Herzbrucker. It's a single straight line. I see it as a line.
It's like Magnum.
No, Magnum doesn't have a shape. Magnum is simply
Magnum is
an aura. Magnum is like that, you know, the block shading that you get outside of a 3-dimensional shape. I see it as a shading. That I'm fairly sure that even though I've been working in teaching for as long as I have, I am so far up the fucking spectrum, it is untrue.
It's definitely
I would say like the last 20 minutes are probably completely understandable by anyone. We're not making any sense.
I'm drinking a beer.
The last thing you want to be is inside my head, boys.
Bring us back to earth, Tricky.
Okay, so I've been talking about Brew York a little bit, and I did grab another little Black Friday deal from them.
Big Eagle
beers that I got. Big Eagle, 6.4% West Coast IPA.
Very nice beer, that one, Tricky.
Getting back to my my usual stomping ground with the West Coaster. This has got CTZ, which is basically Columbus. Tomahawk or Zeus.
Tomahawk or Zeus.
So yeah, those are all, just for anyone who's not aware of this. Those are all basically the same hop that's just got different names. So it's T90 and Cryo of the CTZ. We've got some Centennial. We've got some Equinox, T90 and Cryo again, and we've got some Simcoe. Cryo. So hang on a minute. Chris just said this is an excellent beer, and it's got Simcoe in it. Good God. But yeah,
it's not just a good beer, mate. It's a ludicrously good beer.
It's not the best glass to show it off, but it's got relatively good clarity on it.
I've
drunk
the
a little bit of
record,
it already.
Simcoe's a triangle, so.
How fucking weird is it that I see Simcoe as a pyramid?
So this is like, this is definitely,
fucking hell.
Definitely more old school West Coast IPA vibes. Little bit of caramel on the malt flavor there, but nice, crisp, dry bitterness on there. The hop flavor is more kind of like your old school, West Coast IPA kind of grapefruity, citrus rind kind of sort of slightly pithy bitterness. There's maybe not quite as much of the. I would maybe expected a little bit more of the sort of fruitiness from the Equinaut and the Simcoe perhaps coming through, but it's still really good. And yeah, for me, kind of ticks all the boxes as far as West Coast IPA goes.
I'll be honest with you, Tricky. I'm looking at the colours of that, and I'm pissed off that I've already drunk a can of that in the last 3 days.
I've had a few cans of that myself.
It's a banger.
Beer.
It's a banger.
And what's nice is like it's got some heavy weight to it as well. You know, it's not unafraid to be like, I'm a West Coast. I'm
that's a proper West Coast IPA for me. It's just like no fucking about. You know, bitter, hoppy, pretty strong, good dry, sort of clean finish on it. It's nice, yeah.
The thing that I found about that beer is, even though it's got that bitterness, and even though it's got those hops, and even though it is quite a well-hopped beer, it still has a wonderful malt that you can taste.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's that, like I said, there's a little bit of that sort of caramel sweetness in there as well, and just a nice Moorish kind of multi flavor to it. It's an award winner apparently. I think they got
they're banging the G spot with that beer.
They got a gold in the best UK produced IPA in the SIBA digital what's that, Society of Independent Brewers.
Small Independent Brewers Association.
That's the one, Small Independent Brewers Association. Got a gold in their Digital Beer Awards 2020, so well earned, Brew York. Good
fucking good beer, that one.
Yeah, it's a good beer. Mixing it up with a few slightly newer school hops like Equinaut. You know, so like I really punching that aroma.
Mm-hmm. Now that I think about it, actually, there's a little bit of that. You know, with Equinaut, where sometimes you get that slight like green pepper kind of hint.
Yes.
Now that I think about it, there's just a little bit of a note of that on there as well, which is
I always get that green pepper thing more on my nose than I do on my palate. I always find that if you take a big deep sniff when it's at about 8 or 9 degrees, so when it's warmed up a little bit, and you take a big deep sniff, you get that really nice green pepper almost sting on the back of your nose. It's really nice.
Oh, there goes my
you're back
YouTube
into
stream
golden shower crime watch block thing going on there.
I think you're gonna have to upgrade your internet connection.
Because I'm so sexy, like I'm too sexy for YouTube.
Yeah, you are. You're being blanked out, mate. That's what
they filter him. You know, don't want to corrupt the youth.
Too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt.
So sexy it hurts. Yeah, that's the one, man.
Yeah.
I know, it's a good one. I think based on the current time scale, it's only 9:30. I think we're gonna have time for a third beer.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to go and get one. Yeah.
I mean, I've got a third beer with me, but it's not commercial.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't have to be commercial. You've done 2 commercials, Owen.
It's a beer from Brett the Bollard, actually, but.
Is it the Bollard's Tonka Bean Stout?
It's not. It's one of his. I think it might be one of his level ups. Actually, it might be one of his Belgian level ups. I'm not sure. I'd have to go and check my messages. I'm not sure if Brett's on the chat. Actually,
I think that we need to. Throw Shy PA in as an option for the live brew day.
I'm down with that.
I think let's just say that the next live brew day will do that, because
mate, I'm gonna sit here.
This one's gonna be the Southern Jesse Lager for sure.
I'm gonna sit
especially
here.
as Luke's actually put the recipe off of Malt Miller tonight as well. So
I'm gonna give Luke massive props for the Southern Jesse Lager, because that is a recipe that I honestly, when he said he was making it, I did not think that beer would work. I didn't. I'm like, that much EKG in a fucking lager? Are you on crack, son?
Pioneer.
And then he sent it to me, and I'm like, why have I not brewed this beer? Why have I not brewed it? It was fucking banging. It worked. It was amazeballs.
I mean, I just want to give some chops to Luke as being an exceptionally good homebrewer. I was thinking just the other day about the first beer that he sent me, which was a New England IPA, which I did a beer review on my YouTube channel, The Blue Trouser Brewer. And that New England IPA was fucking banging.
Yeah. He's got his shit together, hasn't he?
Yes. Knows how to brew, the boy.
We give him crap, and he deserves it because he's part of our group. But the boy knows how to make beer. He really does.
He does.
You know, it's a fucking superb point. And I think that the Southern Jesse, I think that's given me, and it has definitely given me, impetus to be trying other British hops in a similar quantity in that kind of Pilsner base. Because I know that Luke's going to get, well, he probably ain't going to get embarrassed. He's probably going to love the fact that I'm going to say this. But I think that was, without doubt, in my top 3 homebrew beers that I've drank this year. And that includes my own.
Wow. High praise.
Very high praise.
I'm glad Luke gave you impotence.
Impetus.
I mean,
sorry.
Yeah, a few beers can do that to anyone, Chris. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
I don't have that problem.
Thank you for sharing that, because you know it's good to own up to these things.
How did I get into shit for saying a word that's really good? It's a fucking good word, you know. And you guys give me shit. Fucking.
Oh, sorry. Did you mean incontinent? Oh,
no.
Okay.
I'm always incontinent. It's a brilliant beer. It really is. And Luke, rather, you should be proud of the beers that you're making. Owen should be proud as well, but Luke definitely should be proud.
And if people are interested in making it who aren't already signed up for it, we're going to do it on the live brew day in January on the BrewTube Facebook group. So get involved. Luke has got it set up on Malt Miller website, so hopefully shortly they will approve that, so you can actually buy it as a kit beer as well. If you want.
And for those people who are in different countries who want to join us on the brew day, Luke, you need to set that recipe on Brewfather to public, so that people like Just and Thomas and Jesper, who's not actually in chat, weirdly enough, you guys can basically get the ingredients and make it in whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
we'll throw that recipe up in the group or the event page for the brew day on BrewTube.
It's a fucking great beer. It really is an absolute banger. So, shall we take a couple of minutes while you boys go and get yourselves another commercial, and then we can bang on with another commercial? Because, I mean, shit, we're only an hour and 20 minutes into this.
We've got another hour to go.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Bollocks. Right, I'm starting recording again on Audacity. This one's not going to be a podcast.
This is not going to make it onto the podcast, is it? No.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? I'm just going to stop Audacity, because to be fair, there's no fucking point now. Stop Audacity, boys. Fuck it off.
And on that note, no fucking point. I'm going to go and get another beer.
Go and get another beer, boys. We'll just do this one live.
It looks like it. All right. I'm going to go and get another commercial beer. Hold on.
Yeah. So there we go. It's just me. They've all fucked off. I'm not impotent, Jamie. I won't give you a demonstration, but I'm definitely not impotent. I have to say this is fucking brilliant. I mean, I've had 2 beers tonight that have been bangers. They really have. Superb beers. If you haven't had the Shy PA from Harrison's Brewery, you really need to get some ordered. And if you can't order it because you're in some other country, then please, finally, just order yourself. Get online, get the recipe, and make yourself the beer. It's an absolute banger. Really, really is a great beer. I love it. I've only had 440 mils of it, but I wish I'd had fucking 3 liters. Put some Deep Purple on. Outstanding choice there, Mr. Wolf. What are we going to go with? I think Perfect Strangers. And that's 15 seconds, which is all we're allowed to play. Which is a massive shame, because that is an absolute banger of a tune. Perfect Strangers by Deep Purple. You're allowed to play 15 seconds, Martin. So, I think that before we start on the next beer, boys, we're going to have to do songs to brew to brew to.
All right.
I think we're going to have to. And mine is probably going to absolutely scare the shit out of a lot of you people. But there we go.
All right.
We'll just wait for Tricky to get back, shall we?
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Apparently, I can't type. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to find this tune now.
Got my bottle opener. Get that open. Oh, songs to brew to.
We're going to have to.
We have to get in the zone on this. Oof.
Yeah, I've got mine. Worried. Oh, yeah. Oh, Santi's got some business to attend to.
Is that right?
I don't know what her name is, but yeah.
What's cracking?
Well, we're going to do songs to brew to because we haven't done it for a couple of episodes, have we?
Oh, shit. Okay.
I know what mine is, so do you want me to go first?
Well, yeah, because I'm going to have a think about this.
Okay, so, gentlemen, there is a country singer by the name of Keith Urban, probably one of the biggest selling country artists of all time. Now, back in 2013, he released an album called Fuse, which I didn't listen to at the time. It wasn't until about 2017 that I really started listening to him. However, he has released a song called Good Thing, and it is a banger.
Bit loud.
So there we go. I'm going to go with Good Thing by Keith Urban because it is an absolute banger. There we go. So that is added to the Hop Edition Songs to Brew2 playlist. It's one of those songs that you just listen to, and it's really, really nice. But it's got quite an uplifting beat, so you feel like you should do something. So play it about 4 minutes before your first Hop Edition. Good song. What we got for us then, boys?
I've got
Who's
one.
next?
There is an excellent song on Led Zeppelin's BBC Sessions album.
Called?
If anyone that's listened to that, called Travelling Riverside Blues, which is an absolute cracker. It's actually a blues song written by Robert Johnson originally, and then Led Zeppelin effectively they kind of rearranged it.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
Okay, that's going on the playlist.
Well done.
It's a great song. You know, you can't. Everybody disses blues music. Well, a lot of people diss blues music because it's not mainstream, or it's not something that you listen to a lot of the time. But I'll be honest with you, I have listened to the complete BBC Sessions by Led Zeppelin. It is actually one of my playlists on Spotify.
Oh, it's amazing.
And it is bloody beautiful. It's amazing to do work to because it's kind of chilled and it's in the background. It's quite a nice song. But you know, it's a very, very, very good song. Tricky, what we got?
Oh, what was that?
I don't know. Somebody just punched a microphone.
It sounded like an electronic bass drum for a minute. I was like, oh, somebody's just banging the tunes out.
There you
go. I'm gonna go with.
Before you start, Tricky, Jamie Nelson's just suggested, in honor of Homebrew UK, the group on Facebook, he suggested dueling banjos. Oh man, fucking superb. Go on then. What you got for us, Trick?
Well, I was literally just like scrolling through the
is it Little Nas X?
The tunes on just scrolling through the tunes on the computer quickly because I didn't have anything in mind. And you mentioned blues, and I was like, oh, okay. Then the few like bands obviously heavily influenced by the blues that are not necessarily in that category normally. But it made me think of a Black Sabbath song, Planet Caravan, that's very bluesy, quite a chilled one, especially as far as Black Sabbath go, but really good track.
Oh,
bit of a precursor to a lot of sort of stoner rock stuff, I reckon.
It is. Well. It's very stoner rock, isn't it? Yeah, and so it's almost quite psychedelic.
That is
very much so.
Fucking, you'd have to be stoned to listen to that for any decent period of time, wouldn't you?
I think that's probably where Tricky and I grew up.
Pretty much where we were going from, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I went Wu-Tang Clan and
oh no, I listened to a lot of that as well, Cypress Hill too, but.
Wu-Tang and Cypress, but you know,
so you've not been truly stoned until you've attended a Cypress Hill concert.
Absolutely,
because like even if you don't smoke it, if you go to one of those, like you will understand the true
you will be stoned
nature of passive smoking. Yeah.
Can I add another one?
Go on then.
I'm not sure if I've already added this, but the song "Teacher" by Jethro Tull is an absolute banger. Dirty bass line.
You are the lover of a dirty bass line, mate.
I might have already added this, to be fair.
You haven't, otherwise it would have given me an error when I added it.
Yeah,
it's a great song. It's a great
if Owen's
song.
gonna throw in another one, has anyone already? Somebody might have already put this one in because it's definitely a Stone Cold classic. Was anyone ever put in "Don't Fear the Reaper" by Blue Oyster Cult?
No.
Yes. I'm sure we have, because I'm sure I've talked about Godzilla being arguably a better song than.
It's a great song. It is a great. Do I have to come up with the second one now?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god. I think I'm going to have to go with something a little bit more dirty. I'm going to have to go with Stacey's Mom by Fountains of Wayne.
Is that punk? It sounds like punk. It's punk. I feel like watching American Pie.
Yes, exactly. Literally, that was a song that was ingrained in my head when I was 18 and angry at my parents. It's a great song, though. And to be fair, Stacey's mom sounds like she's hot as fuck. And as far as it goes, Jamie Nelson, yes, I am a massive fan of Busted.
Big Busted fan.
Fucking love me some Busted. What's wrong with Busted? Are you gonna diss me with the song What I Go to School For? Every fucking 17-year-old kid who's at school has got a crush on one of their teachers unless they are unlucky enough for them all to be blokes. Don't even fucking lie and say you didn't. Fuck off. We had an English teacher, right? Her name was, well, in fact, I'm not going to say her name because she's probably still teaching. But she was 6 years older than me. And I swear to God, I spent my English language lessons just wanting to do depraved, dirty things to her over the desk at the front of the class.
Insight into Chris's psyche.
She was.
I reckon.
This is what people tune in for on the podcast.
Sigmund Freud would have a field day with you.
Oh my God, she was fit as fuck.
Was it Stacey's mum?
I don't know if her mum was called Stacey. We never got that close.
Shame. So, what's the third round of commercial beers, guys?
Yeah, come on then. What's the third round of commercials? We'll move on to Busted later on.
No, we probably don't need to do that.
No, let's not do that. I've got another Brew York beer. This one is Juice Campbell versus the Army of Dankness. gotta love that name.
Get in there.
It's a New England IPA, and you can obviously tell by the can artwork, if you weren't already aware from the name of the beer, that this is a named in honor of Bruce Campbell of the it's Evil Dead, isn't it? Evil Dead fame.
Yes.
And it's New England IPA. We have got in this one Amarillo, everyone's favorite. Was it oval or oblong shaped layering hop? T90 and Cryo. We got some Citra, Cascade, Mosaic, Simcoe, and Centennial. So pretty much all of them in this one. And
Cascade's an oblong for sure.
Brewed with London fog yeast. What else is it telling me on here? I think that's about all the information I can get from this one. Being a New England IPA, lots of probably oats and wheat in there, I'd imagine as well. It's not super thick, hazy looking. It's more just a sort of, kind of hazy.
It doesn't look like a yeast starter.
Yeah, it's not totally opaque like you get with some NEIPAs. It still looks more just like a sort of hazy IPA to me.
It's interesting you make the differentiation between hazy IPA and New England IPA. Those being like almost slightly different styles of beer, or is that purely a visual appearance?
No, I think I'd probably say there's sort of like, for me, that looks more like an IPA that's just still a bit hazy because of the amount of hopping that's gone into it, as opposed to a NEPA where it's got that proper murk, like opaque. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
like it
I
looks like
probably...
yogurt, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like the beer I just had.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at, I think. But it just smells sort of like sweet, orangey, probably melon. Yeah, quite soft kind of apricot, peach, kind of soft stone fruits.
Wow.
And the flavor, it's definitely like flavor wise, it is definitely in that kind of NEPA territory in terms of it being very low bitterness, quite thick, juicy mouthfeel. It's not like super punchy tropical fruit flavor on it. It's maybe a little bit restrained on that front, but it's very, it's really drinkable, dangerously so for a 7.1% beer. Yeah, I get more of the sort of peachy kind of stone fruit stuff off of this, as opposed to the maybe more bright kind of tropical fruit flavors that you might get on some other beers. But it's very nice. Yeah. Another good beer from Brew York. Quite a big, quite a change from the last one as well, because that's very much like two ends of the spectrum there, with the West Coast IPA and then the NEPA afterwards. Oh, Luke is getting the Imperial Camden Pils out. Oof. Good luck. I think that's a 10%er, isn't it? Damn, son.
See you tomorrow, Luke.
Night, buddy.
So I am rocking an old favourite. It's the rosy nosed gnome of Le Chouffe. Le Chouffe, the classic Belgian blonde, 8%.
We can't discuss that one.
No, we're not discussing that one, Jamie. Fucking hell. Sorry, Owen.
Wow. Yeah, moving on. So I know Jay's been out on the beers all day.
Yeah.
He hasn't been out on the beers. He's had a pint of Guinness.
No, I think he'd had 8 pints.
That was after the eight pints of something else, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So on the nose, interestingly,
as if it was the Guinness that fucked him up then.
What I'm getting on the nose is like I'm getting some sulfur on the nose. And I'm also getting quite like a minerally kind of vibe going on in there as well. But also like the slightly spiciness of what you would expect of a Belgian beer. And it's really interesting, actually, on the nose. You give it a little swirl and you are getting a little bit of hint of spicy hop aroma, some spicy yeast esters, and some sweet maltness.
It's
Le Chouffe. It's fucking stunning.
And the yeast is a big part of that beer, I think. Can't remember what the commercial one is. Is it Bastogne or something like that?
No, it's the Imperial
Gnome.
Oh no, yeah, Imperial have it, but I think Y Yeast and White Labs have it as well under different names. But yeah, it's a really nice Belgian yeast, especially if you want to do a sort of fairly accessible kind of Belgian ale, because it's not like crazy estery or really heavy on the phenolics. And I think that's why that beer is so good, because it's just
so good.
Quaffable.
It's like it hides 3 or 4% of its ABV.
No, exactly. What is the ABV of that?
It's 8%. It's 8%.
That's their standard beer, isn't it? That's not like
basically that's like that. This is a blonde. Normally,
that's their standard blonde ale.
High end for blonde ABV.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
But it is what amazes me with Belgian beer, and I've probably come to realise this more recently, just drinking some Belgian beer, is you could use exactly the same grist as what they've used there, ferment it out with an English ale yeast, and you would get, frankly, an incredibly bland beer compared to what you have there. The amount of flavour and characteristic that they get out of the beer simply because of the yeast is insane.
It's almost like they've been brewing that beer for about 150 years, isn't it?
You think so, right?
Wow, that could be something to do with it, right?
I mean,
this is the thing about
nuts.
Belgian, Dutch beers, German beers. We are fucking so far behind.
Well, it sounds like Camden Town are a bit far behind as well, because their Imperial Pilsner's not going down well with Luke at the minute.
Luke says it tastes like toothpaste. I won't be buying that
shit.
Oh dear.
£7 a bottle as well.
Tricky. A picture of you's just come up on the chat that is quite disturbing.
What?
Somebody's quite clearly saved that one.
Oh, the incriminating pork pie.
The pork
picture.
pie shot, yeah. I mean, I was playing up to the camera there, to be honest.
Of course you were, darling. You weren't deep throating a pork pie at all, were you?
I wasn't trying to inhale it in one shot, no.
No. It's, to be fair, I'm going to.
They were only snack-sized pork pies. It's not even that big a
Fuck off!
deal.
It's not like you've got a massive gob, is it?
Wait, this is the Imperial Pilsner, the barrel-aged Imperial Pilsner. Like, what's going to go wrong with that?
Everything. It's Trampagne.
It's Trampagne.
It's commercially available Trampagne. Owen, I'm gonna fucking back you up on every single word that you have just said about Le Chouffe, because that to me is one of the most iconic beers when it comes to slightly higher ABV, but something that you just drink like it's tap water, because it is so fucking smashable at 7.5%, 8% or 9% or whatever it is.
May explain
and then the fuckers went and added cherry to it.
I know.
And started pouring it like fucking straight into my face.
It's like motherfuckers.
It may explain my demeanour at London Craft Beer Festival. After
it may explain the memory loss that I have basically for pretty much the rest of the day from that point onwards.
Oh dear. That was fucking awesome.
When we drank about 2 pints of cherry Le Chouffe in the space of half an hour.
Yeah, you boys did. You lent on that bar quite heavily for a little while.
Oh,
while me and Dave had a little let's sober up session, you boys were like, "No, fuck that."
If anyone gets the opportunity to try cherry Le Chouffe, is just say yes. Say yes.
It's one of those beers that I like to refer to as a dip your dick in it beer. It was fucking banging. It was absolutely a stunner. And I tasted it and I went, I need to stop. Otherwise, they're going to be carrying me out of here and none of them are strong enough. That's basically where I went. But it was an absolutely superb pint. Really, really, really nice. Such a superb beer.
Well, I think like the classic Le Chouffe is it's more hailing to its original Belgian roots. You know,
absolutely.
It's got that spicy phenolic thing going on. It's not hot.
Stop!
It's great.
Luke has just poured a bottle of KBS down the drain.
What?
No, I think he means that he's got that out because the Pilsner went down the drain.
You're flat.
Relax. Calm down.
Fuck I was about to kick him out of the group. Jesus Christ, Luke. How dare you? Don't leave me confused like that, mate.
KBS is, in my opinion, maybe a difficult beer to drink.
Holy shit.
That said, I haven't drunk it for a long time.
It's a great beer. It's a slow beer. It took me 2.5 hours to drink a bottle of it. Slow beer, but Jesus Christ, it's a nice beer.
It's a real burner, that beer, actually.
My God, Jesus! Right, Tricky, have you done your second beer?
I've done mine. Yeah.
Well, right. I'm being forced to go down the Shangri-La route, which is not my favourite Arbor beer. However, after the beers that I've had, it's going down quite well. I'm getting massive hits of hops. I mean, we're talking, reading the back of the can here, quite a lot of Citra, fair amount of Columbus. I'm getting that piney nature. The Equinox and the Mosaic are honestly a little bit hidden. I'm tasting like vague hints of like tropical fruit, vague hints of like blueberry. I think, to be fair, they should have just fucked the Columbus off and left it with the Mosaic and the Euconaut or Equinox, whichever way you want to describe it or say it. I do think, to be fair, this is a beer which, if I was sober, I probably wouldn't drink. But the fact that I'm a little bit pissed is actually really nice, and it's hitting the spot. And it's only 4.2, so it's quite a sessionable beer. But the main thing that I have an issue with this beer is the Columbus. I think without the Columbus, it'd be beautiful.
So I had that beer. Had that beer recently, and it was in the Thai restaurant that was next door to the local craft bottle shop place, because they basically supply them with like craft beers. And I wasn't that big a fan of that beer either. But when I had it in the context of eating like Thai food, the name Shangri-La sort of suddenly made sense, because it actually paired really well.
I'm getting lemongrass on my tongue.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say 100%. I've got this like lemongrassy kind of like Thai spice thing coming from it. And I was like, actually, now the way maybe they just named that beer because that was like the flavour that they got out of it.
Power of suggestion, mate.
I don't think it is, because I'm getting lemongrass off of the beer right now.
Well, the thing is, I would have thought that, but like I tried that beer beforehand, and it didn't really make sense. I was like, what's Shangri-La all about? It just sort of, it's, not really enjoying the hop sort of flavour from this. But then, like I said, when I had it while I was eating Thai food, I was like, oh, hang on a minute. Actually, that does kind of like taste like a beer that now really complements those sort of like Southeast Asian sort of food flavours and stuff. So
wait until you tried their beer called Shepherd's Pie.
Shepherd's Pie is a good beer. I've had that one before. It's a great beer. I do think that there are, and I think there is scope within the Hop Edition to do a beer pairings with food episode. But I just think that there's a lot of beers that work really well with food that don't necessarily work on their own. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of beers where you have to have a certain flavor profile already on your palate for it to work. And that's just the way that I feel. And for anybody who's interested, Equinox is a cube.
Is it? Okay.
It's a very square-edged flavor. It's very defined within its flavor.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Very defined, very hard-edged.
What hop might you best describe as a sphere?
You see, there's only one for me that ever describes as a sphere.
Is it?
Tettnang.
Oh, okay.
Tettnang's a sphere because it has this harsh center, but the more you dilute it, it tends to come out with this radiating flavor. That's why Tettnang's a sphere to me.
Yeah, I don't know what might be a sphere for me. I was going to say Citra, but
Citra's an ellipse.
It's more pointed.
Citra's elliptical for me.
I'd go Amarillo for sphere for me.
I mean, that's a bold statement.
Because it tastes like orange.
Oh my God. You are so not on the spectrum, are you?
You're not getting this, Tricky. That's it. You're out of the gang. Sorry.
No,
It was like a circle.
Citra's very much for one of a better phrase.
It was a good joke.
Citra for me tastes more like it tastes like a coconut shape. Because you've got
coconut. Hang on, coconut is a shape now, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So the pointy ends of the coconut,
sort of oval but hairy, right? That's
that's actually not a bad description, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's a bit like my description of a rugby ball shaped tropical fruit.
Yeah, actually,
it is.
Luke would like beer and barbecue pairings.
I think we should do that. Shall we save that one for the summer? Where we can all do a massive barbecue and just sit and record shit while we're eating barbecue food with beer.
I'll tell you what, we do a sort of yearly beer and food pairing thing at the Homebrew Club, and on the theme of barbecue, I took some beef short rib, little mini beef short rib things in, and paired it with a porter. Which is not something that you would immediately think of as a pairing, but actually like smoky beef and dark beer, fucking amazing. And we had a little like mini competition on the night for the best food and beer pairing, and that one probably more down to the fact that I brought beef ribs rather than the beer, but that pairing came out on top. So
I reckon brisket, burnt ends, and a decent imperial stout or porter would be
an impy stout or something. If you throw a bit of bourbon in there as well, if it's like a bourbon age thing, there's some complementary flavors there that just work beautifully.
I'll be honest with you.
Normally, like barbecue, you just automatically go for like the sort of lighter, you assume sort of lighter beers, IPAs, lagers, that sort of thing. But you can, if you venture into the dark beer territory, you can find some real nice combinations there for barbecue.
Well, basically,
smoky element as well.
Anything smoky or burnt is like dark beer.
Gents, don't hate me, but Guinness and brisket.
Yeah, I can see that.
It fucking works. It really does. Also, Guinness with venison.
Or insert any other better stout than Guinness.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was the only option at the place where I was fucking drinking.
Or insert any other stout.
Yeah. Or any other stout ever.
There's been so many great beer pairings that I've discovered. I mean, I've discovered that if you actually have a really, really, really heavily hopped Citra beer like C-Bomb and you go with Chinese food, it fucking works. And it works really fucking well. C-Bomb with like chicken chow mein is borderline hard on. Borderline. There were twitches.
What about a badly packed kebab? Well with that.
I mean, the only thing that goes with a kebab is basically Foster's or Stella, innit? So some sort of American shit lager.
Yeah.
There we go. Anyway, gentlemen, I think that we are done with this commercial episode and we should move immediately, forthright, straight away to the after party.
After party!
Let's get some of the boys in, have a bit of a chat. I need to take a copy of the room link. So, gentlemen, for those of you who are still in the chat, that is the room link. The password is that. Feel free to join us in the chat. I hope you've enjoyed this impromptu and very rushed put together episode of the Hop Edition. Matt will be back with us at some point once he's got over his familial issues. And aside from that, I think we're going to have to say goodbye. We're going to have to hit the end stream before somebody decides to jump in and join us. So, love you all. Thank you for joining us.
Laters, lovers.
See you soon. Bye.
Yeah, we love you all. See you later, boys. Bye.
Bye-bye. Right, I need...